the Olympic Games. Just uttering these words evokes a sense of excitement, a feeling of global unity, and a celebration of human achievement. Every 2 years, the world comes together, captivated by the drama, the competition, and the sheer athleticism on display. From the opening ceremony spectacle to the thrill of victory and the agony of defeat, the Olympics capture our collective imagination. These games represent much more than just sporting events. They symbolize peace, sportsmanship, and the pursuit of excellence. Athletes from every corner of the globe, representing their nations and their dreams, gather to compete at the highest level. The Olympic Games are a testament to the power of sport to transcend borders, cultures, and ideologies. For a few weeks, the world is united. We marvel at the dedication, the skill, and the determination of these extraordinary individuals. We celebrate their triumphs and empathize with their setbacks. And in those moments, we are reminded of the common threads that bind us all. The Olympic spirit is contagious. It ignites a passion in athletes and spectators alike. It inspires us to push our own limits, to strive for greatness, and to celebrate the very best of humanity. The Olympics are a powerful reminder that we are all part of something bigger than ourselves. The roots of the Olympic Games can be traced back to ancient Greece, specifically to the city of Olympia, a place steeped in myth and legend. Here, in a sacred valley dedicated to Zeus, the king of the gods, the ancient Greeks held athletic competitions as a tribute to their deities, blending sport with spirituality. These ancient games, held every 4 years, were a central part of Greek religious and social life, drawing participants and spectators from all over the Greek world. The first recorded Olympic Games took place in 776 BC, marking the beginning of a tradition that would endure for centuries. These early games featured a single event, a foot race known as the Stadion, which tested the speed and endurance of the athletes. Over time, the games expanded to include other athletic competitions such as wrestling, which showcased strength and skill, boxing, which was a test of endurance and strategy, and chariot racing, a thrilling and dangerous event that captivated the crowds. Victory in these ancient games brought great honor and prestige, not just to the athletes but also to their city-states, elevating their status and bringing glory to their homeland. The ancient Olympics were more than just athletic competitions. They were a grand festival that celebrated the human spirit. They were also a time for religious ceremonies, artistic expression, and cultural exchange, where ideas and traditions were shared and celebrated. The Games were a unifying force for the Greek world, bringing together people from different city-states and backgrounds, fostering a sense of shared identity and camaraderie. A sacred truce was declared during the Games, ensuring safe passage for athletes and spectators alike, allowing them to travel without fear of conflict. For over 1,000 years, the ancient Olympic Games flourished, becoming a cornerstone of Greek culture and identity, a symbol of their enduring legacy. However, in 393 AD, after the Roman Empire's rise and the decline of Greek influence, Emperor Theodosius I banned the Games, considering them a pagan festival that no longer fit the new Christian order. The once sacred grounds of Olympia fell into disrepair, and the Games were lost to history for centuries, a silent testament to a bygone era of glory and competition. Centuries passed, and the memory of the ancient Olympic Games faded into legend. However, the spirit of the Games was not lost forever. In the late 19th century, a young French aristocrat named Pierre de Coubertin embarked on a mission to revive the Olympic ideal and bring the Games back to life. Coubertin was a visionary who believed in the power of sport to promote peace, understanding, and international cooperation. He saw the ancient Olympic Games as a model for a modern world still grappling with conflict and division. Coubertin's vision was to create a global athletic competition that would transcend national boundaries and bring people together in a spirit of friendly rivalry. In 1894, Coubertin organized the International Athletic Congress in Paris. This historic gathering brought together representatives from 12 nations who shared Coubertin's dream of reviving the Olympics. It was at this Congress that the International Olympic Committee, IOC, was founded, with Coubertin as its Secretary General. The stage was set for the return of the Olympic Games. Coubertin's vision was becoming a reality, fueled by his unwavering belief in the power of sport to change the world. He imagined a world where athletes from all nations could compete peacefully, where athletic excellence would be celebrated, and where the Olympic spirit would inspire generations to come. Section 4. The Dawn of a New Era. The 1896 Athens Games. The first modern Olympic Games were held in Athens, Greece in 1896, marking a significant revival of the ancient tradition. The choice of Athens as the host city was deeply symbolic, a tribute to the ancient origins of the Games and a recognition of Greece's pivotal role in shaping Western civilization. It was a nod to the birthplace of the Olympics, where the ancient Games were held over a millennium ago. The 1896 Games were, well, a modest affair compared to the sprawling spectacle of the modern Olympics. The events were simple and the facilities were basic, but the spirit of competition was palpable. Despite the initial challenges, the 1896 Athens Games were a resounding success, capturing the world's attention and rekindling the Olympic flame. The enthusiasm and passion of the participants and spectators alike were undeniable. Athletes from 14 nations competed in 43 events across 9 sports, showcasing their talents and determination. These included track and field, swimming, gymnastics, cycling, fencing, weightlifting, wrestling, shooting, and tennis. Each sport brought its own unique challenges and excitement. The highlight of the Games was undoubtedly the marathon, a race that tested the endurance and willpower of the athletes. This grueling race, a nod to the legend of the Greek soldier Phidippides who ran from Marathon to Athens to announce a Greek victory over the Persians, captured the spirit of the Games and the connection to their ancient past. It was a powerful reminder of the historical roots of the Olympics. A Greek water carrier named Spiridon Louis won the marathon, becoming an instant national hero. His victory was celebrated across Greece and symbolized the triumph of the human spirit. The 1896 Athens Games marked the beginning of a new era in athletic competition. It was a momentous occasion that set the stage for future Olympic Games. The Games would go on to become the world's preeminent sporting event, a testament to the enduring power of the Olympic ideal and the vision of Pierre de Coubertin. The legacy of the 1896 Games continues to inspire athletes and fans around the world. It was a moment of triumph for Coubertin and his fellow visionaries who had dared to dream of a world united through sport. Their efforts laid the foundation for the global phenomenon that the Olympics are today. Section 5. Triumph over adversity, the Olympics and World Wars. The early 20th century was a tumultuous period marked by global conflict and uncertainty, with nations grappling for power and influence. The Olympic Games, despite their noble ideals of promoting peace and unity, were not immune to the forces that were tearing the world apart during this era. The outbreak of World War I in 1914 forced the cancellation of the 1916 Games, which were scheduled to be held in Berlin, a city that would soon be engulfed in the chaos of war. The Olympics resumed after the war, but the scars of conflict remained deeply etched in the hearts and minds of people around the world. The 1920 Antwerp Games, held in war-torn Belgium, were a somber affair, marked by the absence of the defeated nations of Germany, Austria, Hungary, Bulgaria, and the Ottoman Empire, highlighting the lingering divisions. The 1936 Berlin Games, awarded to Germany before the rise of Adolf Hitler, were overshadowed by the Nazi regime's propaganda efforts and the growing threat of war in Europe, casting a dark shadow over the event. Despite the challenges and the political tensions, the Olympic spirit endured, showcasing the resilience of athletes and the unifying power of sports. Athletes from around the world continued to compete, demonstrating resilience, courage, and a shared love for sport, transcending the barriers that divided their nations. The Olympic Games served as a beacon of hope during dark times, a reminder that even in the face of adversity, the human spirit could prevail and inspire future generations. The outbreak of World War II in 1939 once again brought the Games to a halt, as the world was plunged into another devastating conflict. The 1940 and 1944 Olympics were canceled as the world plunged into another devastating conflict, with nations focusing their resources on the war effort. The Olympic movement, like the rest of the world, faced an uncertain future, with the challenge of rebuilding and restoring the spirit of the Games. The Games, however, would rise again, symbolizing the world's determination to rebuild and heal after the horrors of war, and to celebrate the enduring human spirit and the pursuit of peace and unity. Section 6. Breaking Barriers, Women in the Olympic Games. The history of the Olympic Games is one of inclusion and progress. Over the years, the Games have evolved to reflect changing societal norms and to embrace diversity in all its forms. One of the most significant milestones in Olympic history has been the increasing participation of women, breaking down barriers and challenging traditional gender roles. Women's participation in the Olympics has been a long and hard-fought journey. In the ancient Olympics, women were forbidden not only from competing but also from attending the Games. The founder of the modern Games, Pierre de Coubertin, initially opposed women's participation, reflecting the prevailing social attitudes of his time. However, the determination of female athletes and the changing social landscape gradually led to greater inclusion. A small number of women competed in the 1900 Paris Games, primarily in tennis and golf. Over the subsequent decades, women's participation steadily increased, with new sports added to the Olympic program. The 1928 Amsterdam Games marked a turning point, with women's track and field events officially included for the first time. Since then, women have made remarkable strides in virtually every Olympic sport, shattering stereotypes and inspiring generations of young girls to pursue their athletic dreams. Today, women compete in almost every sport at the Olympics, and their achievements are celebrated alongside those of their male counterparts.